focus your attention and let go of unhealthy attention grabbers. So the easy answer to that is to practice meditation. I don't want to go down that oversimplified path because everybody and their brother has heard the benefits of meditation. Instead, I want to talk about what it looks like to cultivate focus, given your own distractions, given your own temperament, and given the distractions of the culture around you. I'd like to start by talking about paying attention. So we've all heard the saying, pay attention. And if you dig a little deeper, it's really intelligent, that saying. Because if you think deeply about attention, if you think deeply about life, there's only one thing that you have total control over, or potential total control over. And that is where you put your attention. You can't control your body. It's ultimately going to decay and die. You can't control the memories you have. They're going to be triggered by outside events. You can't control the emotions you have. They're going to pop up in relationship to your body and events and people in reactionary ways that there's no possible way you can stop. The one thing that you can have a maximum amount of control over is where you put your attention. And even that is one of the most difficult things to do, is to cultivate the capacity to hold your attention. All of the most successful people throughout time held their attention on that thing which they succeeded in. This reverts back to your strengths and talents. If you're trying to be everything, your attention is going to be diffuse, and therefore you're not going to succeed at a high level. You have to focus in on at least a few things. Everyone has a different temperament and a different capacity to focus. My temperament is a broad interest, and I tend to be distracted by who I've turned into in this world. I tend to be a distracted person if I don't put any effort into it. And most people are distracted. Either you may be focusing on something, but you might just be focusing on something that other people want you to focus on, not that's truly important to you. So that goes back to really discovering what your natural interests and values are and align yourself with those. Throughout time, there's always been distractions. The combination of rapidly evolving technology and commerce as the main driving force in our culture creates a dynamic in which attention is fought for. Your attention is being fought for all the time. It always has been in one way or another, but it's incredibly accelerated right now. And most of the intelligent people and organizations that are vying for your attention are doing it in a way that taps into your deep reptilian pre-cognitive brain function that's highly reactionary and emotionally driven. So what that means is that in order to master your attention and focus it in productive directions, that you have to become good at identifying your own emotional reactions to things that were imposed upon you. Now, examples are super simple. A pop-up on the internet, a commercial on your television, a sign when you're driving down the road, a radio program that has a particular slant towards one person's point of view. All of those things are attention grabbers. And the main thing is finding out, discovering, and being very, very clear on what your core values are and what are your goals in life. So my core values are being a good person who makes this world a better place by my presence in it, treating people fairly, respecting and honoring the environment, respecting and promoting democratic ideals, fighting misinformation and ignorance, and promoting intelligent, wise, long-term thinking, respecting individual differences, finding common ground in service of a common vision that benefits all people and all life on earth for the long term. Those are my core values. I am bombarded all the time with things that want my attention that are not aligned with that. So if you're really clear on your core values, then you can filter out things that are trying to grab your attention that aren't consistent with who you are and what you are. I also value my time on earth as a precious, rare thing that I don't know how long I'm going to have. I actually choose not to believe in an afterlife simply because I don't want to think that I have more time than I have. I want to honor every second that I have of this life and make the most of it. And make the most of it in a way that's not only good for me and my family and my loved ones, but for all people and for all of life. So that being said, now I'm clear on that. And then hopefully you have already, or you will go through the process of determining your core values and literally just turning off, turning your head away, putting on headphones, ending a conversation, hanging up the telephone, whatever it takes to remove yourself from an interaction that violates your core values or your core driven goals. Some may hear this and think, oh, that's too structured. Sounds like too much work. But it's really the opposite. Once you start to hold that space, then you have more time, more space, more energy to do the things that are truly important to you and to take breaks and enjoy going back to watching the creek flow and enjoy those moments of peace and joy because you're not running around chasing somebody else's vision for fulfillment. So that's all about eliminating the distractions, how to focus your attention. We focus our attention every day. So one way that you can focus your mind is by simply noticing or even listing out. I believe you should write out everything that you want in your life. So one way to focus your life is to write out your goals. I've talked about my support group, which happens to be a men's group, which we've been meeting for 12 years, which we created for the specific intention of creating success in all of our lives. And one of the things that we do is we've created a 10-year goal. We've created annual measures. It's been difficult, but we've now created quarterly measures meeting up to those. And then we create weekly goals in pursuit of those. So we'll actually support them in that. And that focuses their attention and energy in the direction that they want to go. So you can focus your attention by focusing in on your goals. Another way to focus your attention is to simply develop focus. The easiest, best way to develop focus is to use some sort of focusing device, whether that be breathing, whether that be mantra, whether that be counting beads, whether that be eye focus gazing on a candle. Any one of those things will help you develop focus. The most critical part about developing focus is to acknowledge that you have stopped focusing, to let go of any emotional judgment about that being wrong. Let's say you sat down to focus on your breathing for 10 minutes. You started, the timer went off 10 minutes later, and all you did was think about your wife and the issues that you're having with her. That's a success. The success is that you sat down, you took one breath, and you went through the process of trying to find that second breath. The biggest problem that people have in developing focus is judging their progress. Do not ever judge your progress. Always accept that you are exactly where you are and keep putting forth effort. The only thing that matters in almost anything in life that you're pursuing, but in focus especially, anything that you're pursuing is putting forth the effort. There's lots of ways you can be more effective about that, but effort is number one and everything else is number two. So put forth the effort to focus your mind. Let's say you're going to pick breath as your meditation to focus your mind. Then you'll focus, you'll totally lose your focus, and then you come back, and the key is to, if you notice, like, oh man, I wasn't focused again. I was all over the map. Oh, when am I ever going to get this? Let's say you've been doing it for 6 months. It seems like the same thing's happening. It's not. Every time you sit down and put forth an effort towards focus, you have gotten a little bit better. So that's the main rule. The main rule is keep going. Don't judge your progress. Keep putting forth effort and develop focus in whatever way works for you. You can evolve to more effective ways later. Just make sure you move in that direction. I hope that was valuable.